Hello, this is take 4. Not having good luck today with YouTube or my technology or my internet or something. I'm going to try to give some more clarification on the VARK inventory assignment. It's a questionnaire. It gives you some information at the beginning of page 53 in chapter 3 about the VARK Learning Styles Inventory. Again, I think I talked about this in a previous YouTube. The V stands for visual, A, oral or auditory, R, read and write learners, and K, kinesthetic. You all are going to hopefully find out which way you prefer to learn, and in most cases you'll have one way that will be more your stronger way, like maybe in my particular case, visual. Then number 2 would be reading and writing, because those are the 2 top things for me. Then probably the oral, auditory, and kinesthetic would come in. You know, they would come in at even. I actually like to learn with all those ways, but the one way that seems to work the best for me is visual. Okay, the questionnaire starts on page 54 and 55. There's 16 questions. Each question has an A, B, C, or D choice. You can choose more than one. Whatever applies to you, put a check there. If you would prefer to write on a piece of notebook paper instead of your book, then number to 16. And as you're answering the questions, if you have, say, A, B, and C all apply to you for number 1, then write A, B, C, and D. If none of them apply to you, then just simply write none or 0. Okay, I'm going to read a few of these, and I'm going to discuss how to answer them, and then I'll give you some more directions from there, or about the scoring part, rather. Number 1 says you are helping someone who wants to go to the airport, town center, or railway station. You would A, go with her, B, tell her the directions, C, write down the directions without a map, or D, draw a map and give her one. Now, if you have if A, B, and C apply to you, check all 3. If none of them apply to you, put 0, none. If only D applies to you, put D. Number 2, you are not sure whether a word should be spelled D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T or D-E-P-E-N-D-A-N-T. You would A, see the words in your mind and choose by the way they look. B, think about how each word sounds and choose one. C, find it in a dictionary. D, write both words on paper and choose one. Personally, in my case, I would go with C. That's just my own personal opinion, but that might not be what you would do. What would you do first? And if you would not do any of those, put 0, nothing. None of that applies to you. Number 3, you are planning a holiday for a group. You want some feedback from them about how to plan. You would A, describe some of the highlights. B, use a map of the website to show them the places. C, give them a copy of the printed itinerary or schedule. D, phone, text, or email them. Which one of those would you do most likely? Choose either one or more. Check all that apply. If none of those apply, put 0. Okay, I'm going to go on. You continue through until question 16. Like I said, if A applies only, put A. If B and D apply only, put B and D. If nothing applies, put 0. All right, now on page 56, it tells you how to score the VARK. Simply look at each question. Question 1. Did you have a K there? Did you answer A? Then you would circle K. If you have a way to copy this, it might help. Or however, if you want to rewrite it on another sheet of paper, that will work as well. If you answered B, you would circle A. If you answer C, you would circle R. D, you would circle V. If you if you chose A and C, then you're going to circle K and R. Number 2, if you chose A, you're going to circle the V. If you chose D, you're going to circle the K. If you chose nothing, then you leave it blank. Alright, then you go down at the bottom, you're going to total all of your V's. How many V's did you choose? How many A's? How many R's? And how many K's? Okay, you can, of course, remember, you can choose more than one answer for each question. So you may have, for question 16, you may have chose 3 of those. So you're going to total, get all of your totals, and then at the top of page 57, it calls the little orange ovals at the top there think of them as stepping stones. I'm not really sure I get that, but look at the table below that. The total for my VARK scores is, and then basically you're trying to find what is your preference. Did you have more V's? Did you have more A's or R's or K's? Which letter did you have the most of? And what it says is your highest score is going to be on the very first oval, the very first stepping stone. Then it talks about just subtracting the second highest score from the first, and then subtracting the third highest score from the second one, and subtract the fourth score from the third. It does get a little bit confusing there because it's a lot of multiple steps there, but the activity that you all are supposed to do is at the bottom of page 57. It says your turn, and this is also in the link when you click on it in Angel, and it says, did your VARK score surprise you? Do you know what type of learner you were before using this tool? If so, when did you discover this? How did you use your learning style to your benefit? So there are 4 questions there. Then if you'll scroll down, there again, this is in Angel, I gave you 2 examples of how to answer this question. And this does not reflect me personally, but the first one, I answered those questions in narrative form, like I'm writing a story, a paragraph. I said, my VARK score was a surprise to me. My score showed that I was a kinesthetic learner. My second highest score was a visual learner. I have not really thought about how I learned things. I do remember my grandfather helping me when I was in 2nd grade learn how to count money by actually using the coins and the bills to practice counting them back to him based on the amounts he gave me. I can use my learning style to benefit me in class. I can make a special place to keep my textbook and notebook, like on my desk if I were in the dorm room. I can create flashcards to help me study and try to take notes while in class by writing things my instructor says in my notebook, and use highlighters to highlight key points in my textbook during class. That may help me too. Another acceptable way to answer this question is below the one I just went over, and this is all in the link in Angel once you click on how to do this activity. If you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, another way you can answer is use bulleted statements. Obviously, you guys might like this way of doing it. It's fine. A bulleted statement is a sentence fragment or a incomplete sentence. Excuse me. So you can use bullets. You can go under the Format tab in Microsoft Word and find them, or you can just simply use some on your keyboard. The star, I used an arrow. My first bullet said VARK score was surprise. My second bullet, kinesthetic learner, with next highest score being oral learner. My next bullet says did not know my type of learner. My next bullet says remember using basketball to dribble, shoot, and pass to brother to learn multiplication facts. My next bullet says can keep class items together on my shelf. My next bullet says can ask instructor if I can record lecture. And my last bullet says try to use mnemonics to help me remember important things. We'll talk more about mnemonics in another chapter, but it's just a memory tool. One of the ones I think of, right off is I before E except after C. That's a spelling mnemonic that I learned to remember how to spell words like receive. I still think of that today as I try to spell that word. I'm thinking mnemonics is in chapter 6. We'll discuss it more. And it's just little memory things that you say, little sayings, rhymes to help you remember something. And that's something that I do. Another one that I use, and I actually had a student teach me this, how to remember the directions, north, south, well actually it's north, east, south, and west. And the little mnemonic was never for north, eat, east, sour, south, watermelons. Because this was 3rd grade, guys, we were having trouble remembering. We knew north was at the top, but which one was east and which one was west. So his little mnemonic, never eat sour watermelons. And we would go clockwise. That helped him remember the directionality words. Anyway, that's an example of a mnemonic. I hope this helps. If you need more help, I will be available tomorrow in the classroom at 4:30, which is an hour before class starts. You guys don't seem to like to hang around after class, so which I'd be willing to do that. It's just strictly up to you. If you want me to, I'll do it either way, but most of the time I find that people prefer to be there early than late, so whatever works. Let me help you if I can. Thank you.